students, good evening. Welcome back to the online class. In the previous class, we have started with the new lesson that is nothing but the gravitation. So this gravitation is given by whom? Nothing but the Sir Isaac Newton. He discovered this gravitation and gives the main important law that is called the universal law of gravitation. So what is called the gravitation? The force of attraction between any two objects on the earth's surface or on the universe, that is called a gravitation, right? So as I told in the last class, every object in the universe attracts every other object with the force. That force is nothing called as a gravitational force, right? So example for that is, we are living on the earth's surface because of a gravitational force, and the revolution of a planets around the sun, it is also because of a gravitational force. These are the some examples, naturally occurring examples in our day-to-day life. And I told about the universal law of gravitation. What is that? The force of attraction between two bodies is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. That is what F proportional to M1 and M2. If I consider the M1 and M2 as the mass of the two objects and it is separated by the distance d square, that is the inversely, this force is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So I talked about the this as a universal law of gravitation. Eitherly before we call it as a Newton's law of gravitation, but it is also called as a universal law. Why? Because this law applied for all the objects. Doesn't matter the mass of the object, if either it is a small or a big, it doesn't matter, but it is applied to all the objects on the universe. Hence this law is called as a universal law of gravitation. Students, here I mentioned d square. Either we are considering the square of the distance, you can also replace this by a r square. In your textbook it mentioned as a r square, so I am writing this as a r square only. Okay, I told about the to remove this proportionality constant, we are going to add the proportionality constant. Sorry, to remove this proportionality sign, we are adding the proportionality constant. That is F is equal to G into M1 M2 divided by R square. Okay, this G is called as a what? Gravitational constant. And I also told about the SI unit of this force and a gravitational constant. So this force is represented in what? Newton, and this this mass is represented in kgs, which is a kg square, and this distance is meter square. So the SI unit of this gravitational constant is Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, this is the SI unit of a gravitational constant. So what is this value? This value is approximately equals to 6.654 Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, this is all I have told in the previous class. Okay students, I told about the gravitational constant as a 6.654, but it is also taken as a 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11. This value is given in your textbook, so you should mention this only, not to 6.654. You should mention this 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton per meter square per kg. Sorry, Newton meter square per kg square. It is a unit of a gravitational constant. G equals to 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So this is the value. You can ask me the question, does this gravitational force is a scalar quantity or vector quantity? Can you tell me the answer for this? This gravitational force is a vector quantity. Please be remember, it is a vector quantity as it is the distance measured As this gravitational force is acts along the two bodies and it is acting along the two centers of the masses of the bodies, and the line joining between them is measured with respect to a particular direction. Hence, this gravitational force is a vector quantity. Based on this, for universal law of gravitation or a Newton's law of gravitation, you can solve some problems, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. And you must remember this gravitational constant. When the masses of the two bodies and the distance between them is given, you have they should mention you to calculate the gravitational force, that is capital F. Using this gravitational constant and mass of the bodies, you should calculate the gravitational force. Or you can also calculate the distance when they given the force. Okay, by changing their values it will give you the gravitational distance of the object. So students, as I told you, based on the formula of a gravitational force, you have to calculate the problems. Here it is a one problem, and look here. Calculate the force of gravitation due to earth on the ball of 1 kg, which is the mass lying on the ground. Here they given the mass of the ball. This is the 1 kg is the mass of the ball which lying on the earth surface. So here it is a one mass, that is M1, and it is measuring on the earth surface. That's why we consider another mass, that is the mass of the earth for a M2. Okay, is that clear? Here we consider the another mass of the earth because the ball which is lying on the earth surface. Hence we taken the mass of the earth as another mass, which is nothing but the M2. And they given the radius of the earth. Why? Because on the earth surface any objects are present or lying, we have to measure it from the center of the earth. As I told you, this gravitational force is a vector quantity. Why? Because in which direction, means from the center of the any body to any other center of the bodies, we are measuring the distances. So on the earth surface, the center point is this one. From the center to any point on the earth surface, we call it as a radius. Hence the distance between the ball which is lying on the earth surface to the center is the distance between both the bodies. So here we consider the radius of the earth, that is R equals to 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meters. So here we know that mass of the ball is given, that is 1 kg, that is M1, and the mass of the earth M2, which is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kgs, and radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meters, and the gravitational constant is known. Using this value, you have to calculate the gravitational force. Is that clear? Which force you are calculating? That is nothing but a gravitational force. That is also gravitational force of the earth. Okay, force of gravitation due to the earth. So we are calculating the gravitational force of the earth. You have to put this value in the gravitational force formula. This is the formula for a gravitational force of the any bodies. So F equals to, here we have to put the gravitational constant value. What is the gravitational constant value? For the consideration, 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11, and mass of the ball is 1 kg, and the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. This is another mass, and the distance is nothing but the radius. Okay, so distance is 6.3 into 10 raised to 6. Here it is a square, here square. So it is radius is a 6.4, not a 3. Okay. So here we should mention all the quantities must be in a SI units. Okay. Here it is a Newton meter per second. Newton meter square per kg square is in SI unit. And here the mass of the ball is 1 kg. Kg is the standard unit. Here the mass of the earth is also standard, and here this is also standard. Every value must be in SI units only. If they are not given in a SI units, you should convert that into a SI form. Then you have to calculate the any gravitational force. Okay. So 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11. Okay. Cancelling, you will get a particular value. Look here, 6.7 is written as it is, and 1 is here and 6 is here. Here this 10 raised to minus 11 is taken this side. And you know that in the mathematics that if the indices are same, you must add the power. If the bases are same, then add the indices during the product. That is a raised to m into a raised to n. Then what you will do? A raised to m plus n. You will do that. So I did it here. 10 and 10 bases are same. Then add the indices. Here it is a minus 11 as it is, and this is a plus 24. A raised to m into a raised to n equals to a raised to m plus n. And you also know that a raised to m whole raised to n is equals to a raised to m into n. Means base indices power is multiplied. Okay. Here this and this are multiplied. Okay. I did it here. 10 raised to 6 whole raised to 2 is there. Therefore 6.4 square is 40.96. And 10 raised to 6 whole raised to 2 is 10 raised to 12. Okay, is that clear? Here I written the formulas. So 6.7 into 6 will be a 40.2, and square of the 6.4 is a 40.96. So here we left that. Here what we left is 40.2 as it is 40.96, and here 10 raised to minus 11 plus 24 we will get a 10 raised to 13 and divided by 10 raised to 12. You have another formula for this, divided by when there is a same bases divided, then their sign must be negative. That is, instead of that formula, you just cancel it. 10 raised to 12 and 10 raised to 13. In that, 110 is remaining into 10. Okay. So the answer must be 0.984 into 10. So this we can also be written as, wait, when we cancel the 40.2 divided by 40.96, we will get approximately equal to 0.98 and the remaining into 10, because here 10 raised to 12 is there, 10 raised to 13 is there. When we cancel, 110 is left, and 0.98 into 10 when multiplied, we will get a 9.8 Newton. This is the gravitational force of the Earth's surface when 1 kg mass ball is lying on the Earth's surface. The gravitational force is 9.8 Newtons. So this gravitational force is mainly depend upon the masses of the any two bodies. Why? Because here we consider that one smaller mass and another one is a larger mass. Here the mass of the Earth is very large. Then here the mass of the ball is small. Then we will get approximately 9.8 Newton, which is not exactly large. But when we consider two large masses, here in case of the mass of ball 1 kg, if we consider the approximately equal to 10 raised to 20 kg of a mass, then gravitational force must be very large. So we can say that this gravitational force mainly depends upon the masses, because higher masses will give the high gravitational force between them. Okay, the mass of the bodies is more, then it will give the gravitational force must be very large, extremely large. If the masses of the any two bodies is less, then the gravitational force is also less. Okay, so this is nothing but mass of the bodies and gravitational force are directly proportional. I have given you I am giving you one problem, same that of the before problem. Okay, solve it yourself only, and I am telling that the mass of the Earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kgs, and that of the moon is 7.2 into 10 raised to 22 kgs. Here that of the moon is mass of the moon. Okay, 7.2 into 10 raised to 22 kgs. Okay, if the distance between the earth and the moon is 3.84 into 10 raised to 5 kilometers. Here they given in terms of kilometers. You should convert this kilometer into meters. Why? Because the kilometer is not a standard unit, but meters is a standard unit. So you should convert this into meters. Calculate the force exerted by the earth on the moon. Okay, you have to calculate the force between moon and the earth. How much gravitational force is exerted between moon and the earth using the masses of the moon and the earth. Okay, I am writing this given mass of the moon. Consider M1 and mass of the earth as a M2. Okay, moon is 7.2 into 10 raised to 22 kg and mass of the earth M2 is 6.6 into 10 raised to 24 kgs. Distance between them is 3.8 into 10 raised to 5 into 1000 meters. Kilometer must convert to meters and the gravitational constant is 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Using this formula F equals to G into M1 M2 divided by D square, you can calculate the gravitational force between them. Okay. Using this formula F equals to G into M1 M2 divided by D square. You have to calculate it and send me privately if any doubts ask me. Okay. You should solve this in your notes. I will not send you any answer for this. You should send me the answers. And if any doubts regarding this universal of gravitation and the problems, you can ask me. In the next class, I will going to start with the gravitational force, how that will be act upon the solar system and the Kepler laws of motion. Okay, thank you. And please subscribe the channel for whenever I upload the video, you will get the notification. So, please subscribe and watch the video. Thank you.